Shalom, Koloyim La, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Let's give it the honest Elder GMS, honestly Akim. Peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen, hopeful elect. Koloyim La, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. You know, we were speaking this at camp, man, because of this whole toxic quality of the air, you know, where we was residing at. It says the worst air quality in the world, man. Of course, where Aisha is ruling because of these so-called Canadian wildfires, which he deliberately set, because he's a madman, man, destroying the trees, destroying the environment, destroying nature, right, and destroying everybody, man, including himself, because he breathes the same air, he drinks the same water, man, he lives underneath the same heavens, like all of us, man. But he's a madman, man. That's why the earth has to be renewed, man. Okay, and the earth has been on a steady decline, as we know, as when you read the scriptures, especially the book of Ezra, man, because of corruption, because of sin. When Adam fell, that's what happened, because Adam was a keeper of the vineyard, man. You see, the Most High used Adam to bring forth the law from the garden, man. He was the highest tree in the field of the world at that time, man. And that's how it's going to go back to in the kingdom. The earth is going to reach its full increase again underneath our reign and rulership. But as we can see, when it's in the wrong hands, what happens, man? Destruction and death and calamity on all levels. That's why the scripture says this. We get the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 10. Let's get these precepts out, man. We got to get the fuck up out of here, man. Right, Aisha creating viruses. Now we see he creating his lab-grown meat. He's a madman. Everything is against the ways Yahweh Bashim Shah set up, man. There's GMO fruits. Everything is, and he has the nerve to call things organic, man. Nothing is organic, man. Nothing is natural anymore, man. Nothing. All right? He has even destroyed the dynamic between man and woman. But that's what the scripture says in 2nd Ezra 14 and 10. It says, this is the angel. We get 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse 10. And of course, it's the Most High speaking to the prophet Ezra, to the angel Uriel, as we know. He says, 2nd Ezra chapter 14, verse... this whole chapter is good. We start verse 8. Then thou shalt live to thy heart the signs that I showed, and the dreams that thou hast seen, and the interpretation which thou hast heard. For thou shalt be taken from all, and henceforth thou shalt remain with my son, with such as be like thee, until the times be ended. The end. It says, for the world have lost its youth. That's the point I went to again at. The world has lost its youth, man. Its beauty, man. And the times begin to wax old. So the earth has waxen old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, which we know the world is not that old, man. 12,000, 13,000 years. Aisha and his billion years, that's all a lie, man. And his carbon dating, these are all lies, man. The world is not that old, man. Okay? There's no written history of man that goes back more than 5,000 years. All right? It says, and he said what? And the 10 parts of it are gone already. And half of a 10th part. So during the time of Ezra's, tell you 10 parts had already gone already, and half of a 10th part, man. So this is the latter end, okay? And there remaineth that which is after the half of the 10th part. You see? Now therefore set thine house in order. Which brothers did a video, you had that Eve saying that, man. Set your house in order. This is the latter end, man. Okay? The Most High is about to bring forth that new heavens and that new earth, new rulership and a new reign. And reprove thy people, comfort such of them as be in trouble, and renounce corruption. And that's what we're commanded to do. Right? Standing up for Yahweh Bashim Shah against the evildoer. And who's the chief evildoer? Aisha, man, the prince of this world that's about to be cast down. So we're renouncing corruption, sin, unrighteousness, man. All right, wickedness, man. It says, let go from thee mortal thoughts. Oh, yes, verse 17. Let go for the more thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off now the weak nature. Verse 17. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So the world has weakened through age, man. And since it has weakened, immorality, evils, sin has been on the increase, man. And everything else has suffered, man, from that time, man. All right. That's why, Angel, here I was breaking down to the prophet Ezra's the significance of the fall of Adam and how the evil seed was implanted in Adam from the beginning. And look how the world has waxed worse, man. And the scripture says is what everything has been on the steady decline. Hell, animals, the height, the stature of man also as well. Matter of fact, let's get that. I think that's what's 2 Ezra 5:54. Let's get that. Because we know men back then were a lot stronger, taller, animals as well. Let me get another precept in the book of Ezra's. Not Ezra's, Maccabees. That just came into my mind. Okay, let's get that. Hell, the scripture say the fruits took 2 strong men to carry a cluster of grapes. Matter of fact, I'll get that precept too. But get this first though. I think it's 2 Ezra 5, verse 54. He said, verse 53, and she shall answer thee, they that be born in the strength of the youth of one fashion, and they that are born in the time of age when the womb faileth or otherwise. Consider thou therefore also how they that ye are of less stature than those that were before you. Okay? So during the time of Esdras, that time, the Persian Empire, they are of less stature of men in the old world, man. Okay? The world before the flood. You see? And men back then were living to almost 1,000 years old. All right? And us now in this present world, we are of a less stature than men that were in the ancient world during the time of Esdras. Let's read on. It says, and so are they that come after you, less than ye are creatures which now begin to be old, have passed over the strength of youth, man. So we're also on a decrease as well, man. We're in the worst time ever. We're in the worst possible situation ever. It's only through the Ruach HaKodesh that we're able to keep pushing forward, man. Because as you can see, the activity that's on the planet Earth, if it wasn't for Yahweh Shemel Shah's mercy, we would have already been extinct, man. Right? The Most High is holding things together, man. Because Aishah, if he was leaving to Aishah, the whole world would be destroyed, man. They're coming out with the whole Oppenheimer movie, and we'll do reviews on that as well, man. He said it himself. He become a destroyer of worlds, man. Okay? Matter of fact, to show you that not only the stature of man has decreased over time, even animals, when you read the book of Maccabees. Let me get that. First Maccabees. And I'm going to get the grape cluster as well. Fruits. The trees, man. That's why the world has to be renewed, man. All right? Aishah talks about the great re. There will be a great re. But he's not going to be ruling. Let's get this. First Maccabees. Chapter 6. Of course, is Judas Maccabees. You know, his heroic acts against the nations that were round about us trying to destroy us. Okay? And these are wars against the how you call it? I think this was against Lysias. You see? Which is one of the vessels of Antiochus Epiphanes. But let's read on though. First Maccabees chapter 6. Let's start 29. I'm going to jump. And there came also unto him from other kingdoms and isles of the sea bands of hired soldiers, mercenaries. So the number of his army was 100,000 footmen and 20,000 horsemen and 32 elephants exercised in battle. Let's see how big these elephants were. All right. Verse 35, moreover, they divided the beasts among the armies. For every elephant they appointed 1,000 men armed with coats of mail and helmets of brass on their heads. And beside this, for every beast was ordained 500 horsemen of the best. Let's jump on down. I'll show you how big they were back then. What verse is it? Oh, here we go. And upon the beasts were they strong towers of wood. So on top of the beasts, they had strong towers of wood, which covered every one of them, were girt fast unto them with devices. They were also upon every one 32 strong men. So you had towers on top of these elephants and 32 strong men, and fought upon them beside the Indian that ruled them. So 33 men and a tower of wood was on an elephant back then, which this could more than likely have been a mammoth. All right. That's how big the beasts and animals were back then, man. You don't see that today, man. You could probably put, 2, 3, maybe 4 people on an elephant today, man. Back then, 32, 33, and a tower of wood. So everything has decreased over time, man. Right? And this is the ancient world we're reading these accounts. Just like I said, and when you read the book of Numbers, I think it's Numbers 13:23. So showing you that everything has decreased over time. The world has waxed weaker and weaker, man. All right? And this is what we're crying out for, man. Because we want to be upgraded. Like Yahushua said, give me the glory I had with you from the beginning. The world is going to be beautified, man. You see? Underneath it, let me read this though. Numbers 13, verse 23. It says, and they came unto the brook of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes. And they bare it between two upon a staff. And they brought the pomegranates and of the figs. So they took two, and you could see the picture in the times past, took 2 strong men to carry a cluster of grapes. Right? Like they show you in Avatar, the first one, how big the fruits were. That's how it was in the ancient world. Now you can hold a cluster of grapes and pomegranates in your bare hand. Nothing. All right. And most of them are seedless. It's hard as hell to get the grapes with seed in it, man. That's becoming a thing of the past, man. It's mostly these seedless GMO fruits. All right. The earth, because Aisha, he's genetically modifying and manipulating everything. And he doesn't keep the land Sabbath. So nothing could yield his full increase, man. All right. Because he's not keeping these biblical laws, which that's the real science on how to govern the world, man. That's why the Most High said, let me get Job chapter 12, verse 7. So calling my Yahweh Shanel Shah. And like we said, we were battling this whole toxic air quality, which really inspired this lesson. Man, the earth needs new management, man. The man with the supposedly the highest IQ doesn't have a clue how to run the world, man. Okay? Because he's destroying the environment, the ecosystem that he dwells in as well, man. The same water and food that he has to drink and eat. All right? And he's trying to create things. He believes his creation is better than what the Most High put here. All right? A lab-grown chicken and GMO fruits, man. That's what the scripture says. Is Job 12 and 7. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, man. That's the importance of creation. We all feed off each other. Animals have their part to play, man. You can learn a lot by observing them. Solomon also said this as well. All right? Ask the beasts of the field. We know the bees are important pollinators. All right? You have livestock for your animals, the trees. Well, what Job said it again? Oh, speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee. Okay? You get trees come out of the earth, man. They're important, man. They filter the air, man. Right? You get oxygen from the trees, man. That's what they call the Amazon, the lungs of the planet Earth. All right? And the fishes of the sea, and they shall declare unto thee. That's all the works of Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. Every living thing. Okay? All right? And the Most High gave us laws on how to govern the earth, man. All right? Man. Calling my Yahweh Bashem Al Shah. But that's why the scripture says, let me get this, 2nd Ezra 4:26. Let me jump back to Ezra's. I'm going to read a couple more precepts And I'm gonna close this out through the Spirit, man. So everything has decreased over time, man. Everything, man. That's why the scripture says, 2 Ezra 4:26, he said, "Then he answered me and said, the more thou searchest, the more thou shalt marvel, for the world hasteneth fast to pass away," man. This world is hastening fast to pass away, man. Okay? Everything, man. That scripture, the scripture tell you the earth abideth forever, but this present world, this rulership, this dominion is going to pass away, man. Scripture talks about the first world that we just mentioned earlier during the time of Noah, and which Aisha took that, the rainbow, and he perverted that, man. Okay, but this world is hastening fast to pass away, and that's why the scripture says in the book of Ecclesiastes, so we can knock out all these precepts, man. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. It says, there we go, Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 4. It says, "The power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable." And who's that? His elect, man. His elect, man. Those that have this wisdom, okay, and how to govern the world, man. Starting with our big brother Yahweh Shai on down. And that time is now. Okay? We're coming into that time, man. The end of this reign, man. Alright? And the scripture says what? The beginning of immortality. And everything is going to rejoice when Aisha is taken down. Let me get the book of Isaiah, the 14th chapter. Let's get to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 8. Oh, verse 7. "The whole earth is at rest and is quiet, and they break forth into singing." The trees, the plants, okay? The animals, man. Everything is going to rejoice, man. Right? "Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fella is come up against us." As we can see with these wildfires, this man is burning shit down, man. And talking about some climate crisis, man. Give me a freaking break, man. That's all lies, man. Talking about CO2 emissions when he's deliberately setting fires and destroying the air quality, man. Because trees are pivotal, like we said, for the ecosystem, because they filter the air. All right, and we depend on the trees as well. Okay, so they said the trees are going to rejoice. The whole earth is going to rejoice. Creation itself is going to rejoice. You nations are going to rejoice. Because we're going to show you how to govern things, man, how to do things, man. All right, the true science, all right, which is knowledge, man, of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Okay, and putting it to practice is called wisdom. Okay, I'm going to read this last precept here to the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, so the earth has to be renewed, man. Right, Aisha not too long ago, I think in April, celebrated Earth Day. That's a joke. Right? True Earth Day is when you're put in captivity. Right? We just read it. The earth is going to rejoice, man. That scripture says, Psalms 98. Psalms 98 to Psalms 98. So chapter Psalms 96 is good as well. Psalms 90. No, Psalms 96, 97, 98 is all beautiful Psalms. Read Psalms 98 1 that says, "Sing unto Yahweh Bashim Shai a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand, Yahweh Shai, and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory." That's who he's sending back on the planet Earth, man. Yahweh Bashim Shai made known his salvation, his righteousness have he openly showed in the sight of the heathen. What scripture says they're going to be greatly amazed at the strangeness of their salvation. All right? And what's Psalm in the 5th chapter? You see, when we get beamed up in those chariots out of one Ratzazah, we jump to verse 4. It says, "Make a joyful noise unto Yahweh Bashim Shah, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise, man. Why? Verse 9. Before Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, for he cometh to judge the earth with righteousness, shall he judge the world and the people with equity, man. And that's going to be a beautiful time, man. Call him Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, man. All right. So that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Like I said, call him Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. With double honest L's of GMS and honestly Akim. Peace and bless you, brothers and sisters that listen. Hopefully, glad. That I'm going to say shalom.